How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel Pete's Carport. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. It really helps me out greatly, helps me continue to do these type of videos where I get to teach you guys how to easily repair your older Mercedes. So, jumping right into it, this is my 1986 420 SEL. Gorgeous car, lovely car to drive. It's not my daily driver, but I have driven it, for weeks on end when other cars were being worked on. So it kind of has filled in as a daily driver. I love to keep this thing fully registered and insured all year round, just because there's those days where I just feel like cruising, and this is that perfect car to cruise in. Now, several months ago, I noticed I was getting more and more of a vibration coming from the front end. I would start to hear a little bit of a clicking noise when turning the wheel, kind of how it is now, and backing up. So after some investigation, I noticed that my tie rod, I think it's the outer, but we're replacing the entire thing. I'm gonna go ahead and grab that tie rod that I ordered. I'm gonna show you guys the tools you need to take this off, and it's gonna be a pretty simple thing. Then you're gonna have to take it down to get an alignment. But I'm gonna show you guys how you can set it up so that you can at least get to the shop without any major issues. But of course, you do want to align it so you don't unevenly wear your tires. Even if your car feels like it's okay, it could be slightly pulling or slightly in or out, and then you're going to have uneven wear on your tires. So let's go ahead. I'm going to grab that part, get set up, and go through it with you. Okay, guys, so before we jack up the car, this is what our new tie rod is going to look like. So this was a pretty inexpensive one. FCP Euro is an awesome website to go to. They offer a lifetime warranty. I had picked this up quite a while ago, a little less expensive, just because I wanted to see if it made a difference, and then I was going to fully replace both sides. But at the time, I needed a quick fix, and I had a small budget for it, so I picked this one up. A lot of times these cheaper parts are good for a few months, maybe even a few years, but it's best to buy the actual OEM replacements and something with a warranty. So this is the part number that I've got on here. It's REPM282136. I'll try to throw that down in the description as well. And then the main tool that we're going to be needing outside of a lug nut remover and a jack is going to be this tool here. Now, I rented this from the local auto parts store. I believe it was AutoZone. I've featured it in another video. It's 27276 from AutoZone, and you can actually rent it for the price, which I think was like $30, or you can keep it, which is what I did. And they can even order you a brand new one if you prefer. So now that I've got that out of the way, we're also going to need some sockets and some socket wrenches. I believe 17 or 19. I know 17 is going to take off our wheel, which we could even use a wheel lug nut remover, or tire rod, I mean. And then we're going to also need a jack to jack this up, and some jack stands so that we have safety. So let me go ahead and get it jacked up with jack stands, and then I'll let you guys know what size sockets you'll need to remove the bolts that are holding the tie rod in. Okay, so this is where our tie rod is located. Now, if you need to figure out if you need to replace your tie rod, with your wheel up in the air, you can wiggle it back and forth, and you can see I've got insane play, which means that one of the bushings probably just failed, and there's just going to be massive play in your pivots. So we need to replace this whole thing. Now that we've got it jacked up, let me get this tire off, and then we'll take the bolts off of the tie rods, and we'll slide our new one in. I'll show you guys how that goes. Okay, guys, so these are 17 millimeter, and you've got one on each end. This one's going to be facing down with the nut. The other one, the nut's going to be facing up. So keep that in mind when putting it in. They do go in facing down and then facing up on the inner outer. So you got to make sure you got that position right. So I'm going to go ahead, take this off. Now, you're going to want to grab this tool now. And I'm going to show you how this slides on here. So, let's see if we can get this positioned right. It's going to slide in there like that. I'm going to tighten it up. And then I believe it might even be, I think it's a 19 millimeter on the end there. Okay, once you get the tool positioned in there, you can see this part's hitting the bottom of the bolt that comes down, and this part kind of slides in between. Now all you're gonna do is tighten this up. It'll make a popping noise, and then it will pop it right out. And you guys can see there, it popped out very, very easily. Now, another way is you could bang the side of this and it could wiggle loose. This prevents all that type of damage. So I really, really like to use this tool. We're going to do the same thing to this side, and then I'm going to pull this down. We're going to basically match this up with the new one measurement-wise. Make sure we torque everything to specs and put it all back in and take it for a ride. Okay, guys, I'm going to show you from this side one more time with that tool. I think I got a much better angle for filming here. And this just slides on like that. Yeah, you guys can really see it now. Now you want to make sure you loosen up this top piece. Enough to slide on. And then you just want to slide this bottom part in, line it up straight. You can hand tighten it. Once you get it so it's hand tightened, make sure you grab your 19 millimeter. Obviously, if you have a different brand tool, there's a chance it's different. And then it's just tightening it down. So let's do that. So you guys can see it pop out. See how easily that popped out? So real easy. We're going to go ahead and grab that and bring that inside and now measure it up to our new one. Okay, so how do you measure these to be as close as you can get so you can drive this down to get it aligned? So you want to use these threads. So you want to make sure you count these threads and then match up the same amount of exposed threads here. And the way you do that is by loosening this nut right here, and then you'll be able to turn it out, and you'll be able to match up, which I'll do in a second, count these threads, and we'll do the same thing to the other side, and that is going to allow it to be the same length once we install it into the car. It's not going to be a perfect alignment, so you do need to go down and get it aligned. And so that's really the next step after getting this put in and getting it all put back together, is drive it down, get it aligned. That way you get even wear on all of your tires. So let me go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you guys how easily this goes right back in, and then we can take it for a ride. So just a heads up on this, so like this little coupler here, it's actually a little higher up, so you have to kind of count the threads that you can fully see, so you have to look down in there. So make sure you're getting all the threads that are fully exposed and matching those up with the fully exposed threads on the other end. Alright guys, so I was online trying to find the exact torque spec for this, and it seemed to kind of be all over the place based on which forum I jumped on. And but it was within range, so 50 Newton meters seems to be the one that was more talked about for this car, and that is about 36 foot-pounds. That sounds correct. Highly suggest you do your own search to figure that out. If I find the exact torque spec before launching this video, I will post it on this screen during what I'm talking about right now. So most likely I will find that. I'm going to do more of a deep research. I'm going to do it to 36 Newton meters because I know that's about approximate for a 17 millimeter bolt when working on these cars. And then I'm going to do further research when I get home because I am not driving this car today, and I will be able to put that on the screen for you guys. All right, guys, so I figured I would close out this video while driving out to get the alignment done. Wanted to let you know I just got it up to about 65, no more vibration, so that is awesome. And the alignment's gonna fix this hair slight off on the driving. So you can see, you can easily drive this thing up to get the alignment done if you properly get the actual spindle of it spun to about the right length. So hopefully this helped you guys out. Thanks again for watching. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. I do lots of videos on these Mercedes. We've got a lot more coming as well on some of the different models like the R129, my W140, and this W126. So have a great day, guys. Have a blessed night, and thanks again for joining me.